Last week we left you partway along our Nullarbor adventure at this incredible campsite 13 kilometres east of the West Australian border.
Join us this week as we head across into WA on one of Australia's great road trips. So beautiful out here this morning. It's just a little bit windy, but the sunrise is here. There's not many things that'll get me out of bed this early, but this is awesome. I love this.
Yeah, definitely a double shot. Stop, please stop. That's fine. Got this.
Good morning. A little windy this morning as we expected. So we're gonna just have a rest day basically, a no travel day. I think the winds are gonna be pretty consistent all day, blowing sort of south-southwest. So good day to just have a break from driving and rest out. It's a bloody cracking spot where we are here. It's just a beautiful little view down over the escarpment, over the cliffs and then down onto the beach. It's one of the only places that I know of until we get down to Eucla where you can see the beach from the Nullarbor, which is pretty cool. We've had a lot of people asking about how our table's been going, which has been going pretty well, I would say. I'd give it like a 7 or an 8 out of 10. There is some issues with the concept though, in that just the amount of leverage that's on. So when this is our swing away table. If you haven't seen this, we put this swing away table in our van to just give us a lot more flexibility over the space. I installed it, Titanium just supplied the tabletop and I did the leg that we bought ourselves. But yeah, it relies on, so in these two pivot points, it relies on like a plastic sleeve in the arm and a plastic sleeve on here, which you can see is just been broken. So what happens is when this is in here and there's a lot of weight on here, particularly when the table's on and someone's leaning on it or whatever, it's trying to lift this out of there. One of the kids has leant on it this morning and it's just cracked. So it's cracked that top off that post and it's cracked one of the sleeves that goes in. But to be honest, I was kind of at the point where I was thinking about redesigning it anyway. I just don't think the plastic sleeves are going to do the trick. The plastic's good because it allows movement, like it can slip on each other, but I think we're going to come up with a bit of a redesign. I'm not 100% sure yet what we're going to come up with, but yeah, a little bit frustrated it's broken. They're about 350 bucks these legs, so they're not cheap. It's lasted 6+ months, but yeah, it's been good, but not perfect. I've sort of been thinking for a while I wouldn't mind looking at trying to redesign it. I think the concept is good, I just think, yeah, it just isn't quite capable of handling the weight of the table.
Something that sort of has taken us a bit by surprise at the moment is just how much solar we are getting in. Because of the long summer days, we have just got solar to burn. Our setup is designed for winter and for snow camping in winter was kind of in the back of our mind, like what would you need for snow camping in winter? But when you have optimal summer, long daylight, it's just, man, we got power to burn. It's so good. I don't even have to think about it at the moment. I've run the dishwasher twice, 2 sets of coffee. At 100%, I don't know how we'd use it all at the moment, which is awesome. If you are going to live off-grid in a similar way to what we do, plan and design your power system for a few days of cloudy back-to-back days during winter, and then come summer, you will be happy days. It's sweet.
Chill out day today. Liz and I just been getting a bit of work done, getting back to a heap of comments, getting back to all of you guys out there. Liz is continuing on with her design course as well that she's been doing this year, which is she's almost completed, which is awesome. It's going to take a bit out of our days. Yeah, it's a bit of a confusing old day. So it's quite windy still outside, and a little bit. It's been overcast all day, and because we're right on the South Australian border, we're only about, I think it's about 20 or 30 kilometres from the South Australian WA border, and that means there's a time zone change coming up. But the other thing we're dealing with is that Eucla has this peculiar little time zone, almost of its own. It shares it with 3 other little villages. The population total, or the permanent population for that time zone, is 110 people. It's interestingly the smallest time zone in the world, and the smallest by both geography and by population. And it's one of only 3 time zones in the world where the difference between it and the neighbouring time zone is a 15-minute increment. It's 45 minutes difference to Perth. Nowhere else in the world, or only 2 other places in the world, is it not a half hour or a full hour increment between time zones. Why is all that relevant? Well, it's not to much, apart from the fact that I just thought it was bloody interesting and I'd share it with you. But the thing that's making it really confusing for us is all our devices are showing different times. Thankfully, the GXL model of the 70 Series Land Cruiser has a digital clock. So it's the only thing that we know that hasn't changed. And so that's what we've been able to base the time off. Because of the overcast conditions, it's become one of those days where it's really hard to tell what time of day it is. So my phone is showing 11:30 a.m, which we've worked out is either WA time or Eucla time. We're not quite sure. Liz's phone is showing 1:22, which we believe to be South Australian time. Our computers are picking up a different time and showing a different time again. Liz's is showing Sydney time, 1:52. And our Truma display for our hot water and for the aircon and for the heater is showing the same time as Liz's computer, because we're pretty sure, we can't remember, we're pretty sure we haven't updated that since we left New South Wales. But yeah, sitting here at the border and trying to figure out time zones has been quite the fun of the day as we bunker down and get a bit of work and stuff done.
I had a Zoom call with one of my design school people last night, and she's currently in Ireland. We scheduled the meeting for 8 o'clock Sydney time, but I had no idea. I was all over the shop. I was trying to Google what time is it really in New South Wales so that we could line this meeting up. But it's been a disaster. And I've got till midnight tonight to get my final presentation in.
Yeah, if we didn't have a clock in the car or Starlink and able to get because there's not really any phone service here. Well, even with the phone service, it's just hard to tell what time it is. But anyway.
It's hard to tell. Like, same caravan, same phones are showing different times. We met old mate that Simon helped with his tyre yesterday. He camped here as well last night, and he was saying he couldn't work it out because he was going across the border to Eucla, but he was leaving here at 6 o'clock in the morning, which is the time he would normally get up and get going. But then once he goes to Eucla, it's going to be like 4 o'clock in the morning, and will the fuel servo be open? But then minus
4:45 as it turns out. 4:45, which we didn't know at the time.
Is the servo going to even be open at that time?
Yeah.
We're like, I don't know, because as soon as you cross the border, it's 4 a.m. in the morning.
All right, I think we made the point with time zones.
So confusing.
We've got some cool stuff still coming up. Although we're nearly at the border, you'd think that means you're nearly done, but it's we're like halfway.
We're almost exactly halfway, I think you worked out. With the workday done and my design course finished, we decided to fire up the hibachi grill and cook some pork fillet with a simple salad for dinner. There's nothing better than cooking food over a fire, and it's especially better with a view like this one and when someone else cooks it for you. This is I finished my designs course, module 10, happy dance. Ooh. Morning, back on the road this morning, heading towards Eucla. Just a little tiny mishap this morning getting in the car. Someone accidentally accidentally had a banana chip stuck in their seatbelt, like in the holder bit that the seatbelt clicks into. I have to get that out, tell you what. The things you have to deal with kids in the car. Banana chips in your seatbelts. All right, we're going to punch across in over through the quarantine station and into Eucla.
Another overcast morning this morning. That wind's still blowing, but it has swung around a little bit easterly, so it's a bit more in our favour. I repaired that table as well. I'll show you guys when we pull up for lunch or something how I fixed the table. I think it's actually better than the original, better than it was before it broke, which is good. That's a good sign of a good repair. So yeah, we'll get across the border and try and punch out a few more Ks west. We're going to do Australia's straightest section, longest straight section of road today. As well as probably check out a couple more caves and stuff. So heaps more to see and do. Let's dive into it. Not too far from camp, we reached the border for the quarantine inspection. There's strict restrictions and limits on what can be brought into Western Australia, and it pays to check the West Australian Government website for the most up-to-date information.
If you missed last week's video, we shared some tips and advice for planning your crossing to allow for these restrictions.
With the all clear, we were back on the road and headed west. Next stop, Eucla.
No WA sign. Oh no. Shire of Dundas. Alright, I just pulled into Eucla and fueled up. Yeah, $2.50 a litre, which is definitely up there, but it's almost 30 cents a litre cheaper than Border Village and the Nullarbor Roadhouse. So yeah, it's really handy having the long range tank, because we just got 130 litres then, and our old tank was only 130 litres. So our long ranger fuel tank is 180 litres. Which just meant we were able to push on that little bit further before we fueled up, which makes it quite a bit cheaper. From here to Norseman, we might just make on a tank. We'll see how we go. Depends how good the winds are and how long they last in our favour. But yeah, definitely fuel map app, checking the fuel prices, getting the wind in your favour, and then a long range tank if you can makes it a lot, well, cheaper in a way, but also save you a bit of fuel along the way. Eucla is a cracking spot with kids. There's a playground here. There's flushing toilets. There's a cafe if you need it. The playground is ultra cool. It's 90s OH&S. There's the slide's got an angle on it like this. The seesaw has no springs, no safety stuff, and the kids absolutely loved it. So yeah, so we've had a good play now and ready to hit the road, which is great for these long drive days. Get the kids out to stretch their legs. Somewhere like this, it's perfect.
It's deceiving too how far, it feels like we've almost finished the Nullarbor or kind of broken the back, and we're not even close in a way. Depends what you count the Nullarbor as. If you count the trip basically from Ceduna to Norseman, which is the two major towns, or the only real towns at either end of the Nullarbor Drive or the Air Highway, we've done 500 Ks. We've still got over 700 Ks to go. So we're not even halfway, and we're still closer to Adelaide than we are to Perth. So yeah, it is definitely deceiving how long the drive is and how far you still are when you feel like you've made a fair bit of progress. So we better get some Ks knocked over. There is some other stuff here to do at Eucla. I highly recommend, if you haven't done it, go down the hill from here where we are at the hotel motel and the servo, and go down and check out the old telegraph station, the old jetty and stuff. We did that on our last trip. Again, I'll leave a little link there. You can go and check that one out after this video if you haven't seen that. But yeah, really cool little stop over at Eucla, and good little free camp down there as well. For us today though, we're going to try and cover some Ks, go check out a couple of sites along the way, and just enjoy the drive. Let's do it.
Find someone to slipstream.
Oh yeah, and then go and find someone to slipstream. If you're traveling with a mate, make him go first. After you leave Eucla, if you're heading west like us, that's where you'll leave the coast behind, and your ocean views will change to Bush views. The landscape changes quite a lot as you come down that escarpment from Eucla as well. We're following that escarpment all the way along now, have been for the last 100 or so kilometres. And the landscape really changes. There's a lot more trees popping up now, a lot more little eucalypts and stuff. It's a very different drive, even though we've still got hundreds of kilometres to go to get to Norseman at the end of the air highway there. I think it's the end of the air highway. It's a very different landscape and a very different drive for this section. In about half an hour we're going to pull up, have some lunch. There's another set of caves here that I'm keen to go and check out. I've heard you might be able to go into these ones as well, so we'll grab a torch and go and have a bit of a sticky beak hopefully. But yeah, just another point of interest, something to break up the drive a bit, and something a bit more interesting than just a roadside rest area to stop and have lunch.
As we mentioned in last week's video, the journey along the Nullarbor is littered with side tracks that lead to a wide range of points of interest to explore. Like this one, most aren't signposted, and some can be tricky to spot from the highway.
We were surprised to find that this track was mostly a well-formed gravel road and took us to one of the more interesting caves we visited along the Nullarbor. Buddy? Look out your window, mate. Explore galore!
Explore galore. So it looks like it's like a sinkhole, fairly shallow one this one, but with a couple of little caves in here. So I had a bit of a read up on Wikicamps. This first one we just come across, I just came down here for a bit of a recce before, and it looks like it's, don't go in there please James. It looks like it's a bit of a dingo den. Well, I'll show you why in a minute. Just coming to the edge here. It looks like a bit of a dingo den. It's a huge overhang. There's a couple of dead carcasses up in here. Looks like kangaroo carcasses. And it goes fairly deep. Come on James, just follow me. It's a bit smelly, but you can sort of see up to the back of it. It's probably, you can't really see me. It's probably 20 or 30 metres deep back there. There's a few little, James has got no fear, he just goes in anywhere. Yeah, it's pretty cool, this one, really easy to get into. But there is another little cave over here we'll go and have a look at. James, please don't go deeper, please. You can see everything from where you are, and it's only going to get stinkier. So yeah, I don't know whether kangaroos maybe come here to die, or whether dingoes bring them in here, or I'm not sure. But there's plenty of bones around and a couple of rotting carcasses. How's that, boys?
It's smelly.
What is it?
Smelly.
Bit stinky. Would you eat that, Roo? Nope. Would you eat that, Roo?
No.
Liz just said she's getting Lion King vibes, which is good.
The hyenas live.
Yeah, it's where the hyenas live. It's like a hyena cave. I find caves really spooky.
They are.
Something about caves. But there's a lot of soot on the ceiling. I don't know if you can see above my head here. There's a few little light shafts coming down because we're only just below the surface. But there's a lot of soot and stuff on the ceiling. So I'd say there's a fair chance this would have been a pretty handy cave for the Indigenous people back in the day. We'll go and have a look at this other one. I don't think we can go in too deep. We're not really set up for caving. We're also a long way from help. So you can go into this other one. We'll probably have a sneak and have a look in at the entrance, but I don't really have any good torches. And yeah, we are a long way from help. The other thing is a lot of people have seen snakes here. So we've all put socks and shoes on, and which is pretty rare for me. And we'll just go for a bit of an explore and keep our eye out for snakes.
Got bad juju vibes. I don't like this one. There's all these skeletons and dead animals and caves and in the middle of whoop whoop.
Is it helping that he's doing this?
No.
What?
Oh, there's a snake skin.
Oh, yeah,
Boys.
good snake skin.
Ooh, snake skin.
So there's this is the second cave, which again is another big overhang, and there's a little shaft down here. We'll have a bit of a look down. Apparently it goes in for a few hundred metres at least, but we're certainly not going in that far. Liz is all spooked out. She's not keen at all. The kids are frothing. They can't wait.
Oh, that That snake skin's giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, so I think the combination of a definite prevalence of snakes combined with a lot of skeletons and carcasses and deep, dark, spooky caves definitely ruffles the feathers a bit, that's for sure.
Yeah, let's get going. I like it, eh? All right, I've come.
I'm going to take the boys down this shaft.
No, you are not.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
You're not.
We'll just go for a quick look in the entrance.
No,
There,
you're
look at
not.
him. Look how excited he is.
You're not.
Daddy, Daddy,
Let's just go down for a look.
Daddy, oh yes.
James.
Yeah.
This is fun. Dad.
Stop. Give Dad some space. Rock slide.
Please. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Is there any dead animals in there?
Not that I can see. I can see a light shaft up further. All right, let's go in for a bit of a look. James, can you see those sticks?
Yeah.
Can you just go to those sticks and wait there for me?
Okay.
You meant to send the kids in first, yeah? Watch your head.
Have to not make it giant.
I'm not going to go in there, mate.
Oh, that's a big cave.
Wait, turn the torch on.
It is, mate. James, please don't go any further. Please stop.
Dad, can we go that way?
No, I don't want you going anywhere, mate, because I don't trust these snakes. Please.
Okay.
Harrison, are you coming in a bit further? You come in for a look, mate, and then we'll get out, okay?
Is this cold?
So cool.
Nice and cool in here, isn't it?
That's right.
How is it?
It's cold.
Daddy,
Cold in
And
here?
it's spooky, spooky.
You're looking at your shadow on the wall.
how's that? Look,
So good. I don't know where that's pink spray paint.
how's that? Dad, can you move that torch? But how's it? And look, reflectors of the light, and that's not this light.
No, that's sunlight coming through from up on the surface.
Dad, can you want this?
No, I don't. Mum will get all freaked out, mate, if we go in too far. And we don't. I've only got one little torch. If this torch dies, we're in trouble. Okay, so we've come in for a look. We're going to turn around and go back out now.
Because I think I can see something big and dangerous.
Is it James?
Unless that's a rock.
Where?
Back down there.
Yeah.
Is that a rock?
Yeah.
Dead end?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dead
Pretty cool, eh? All right, let's get out of here.
Wait, Harrison. Back forward. No. Back up this way.
Same way you came down.
Mum, it's okay. There was a dead end anyway.
Oh, good. How was it, buddy?
But the dead end was about 50 meters away.
Okay. We got better.
What bit?
The whole.
Oh, yeah. I'll show you while we're stopped. I'll show you the repair I did on the table from when it busted the other day. So here's what I've done. This is my little collar that I've made. It's a piece of conduit from the end of our stone stomper pole. I just cut that off. It was a little bit big in diameter, but I just cut a section. Just wait for the camera to focus. I just cut a section out of it so that I could squeeze it down, and the wall thickness of it was perfect to jam in there. So this is what was in there from factory. There's these little plastic collars, which is what broke. It snapped that. Because this tube is hollow, when all the weight is out here on the arm, the only thing stopping it from sort of angling that way is just this little thin bit of aluminium pushing on that collar. So that thin bit of aluminium pushing on the collar is all that stops it bending down. So that's how it broke, is one of the kids leant on it and it did that. So this conduit, I've made it a bit taller so that it can't slip over the top of it, and it's a lot stronger and thicker than the original. It works so well, and it's so much better, in fact, than the original one. There's so much less movement in there now that I'm going to, when we stop in Bustleton, I'm going to pull this other one out and redo it as well and do it the same way. So yeah, if you've got one of these table legs or you're thinking about getting one, something to keep in mind is, yeah, that it is possible to make it even better. But still loving it, still think it's the best way to go. We're stoked with it. It makes the van so much more livable, having this being able to be easily removable and swing out of the way and everything else. We just played a board game here just before, and yeah, it's a winner. All right, we're going to jump back in the car now, go find a little bush camp out towards, I don't know, towards Norseman, another couple hundred k's up the road, see what we find. Let's go.
Not long after you rejoin the highway east of Majura, the road climbs back up the range and offers great views across the plains.
Oh.
How's the sunlight?
How's the dust in the eye? Well, we made it Australia's longest stretch of straight road, the 90-mile straight, which is actually quite a long way west. We're not too far from Norseman now, another few hundred kilometres, and we'll be in there, which is the end of our Nullarbor journey. But what I think we want to leave you guys with the Nullarbor is that, yes, it's a big, long, and relatively boring drive in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways there's so much to see and do. We've only just visited a couple of the little highlights along the way and points of interest. There is dozens and dozens and dozens of them. Every trip across the Nullarbor is likely to be different depending on the weather and everything. So just take your time, enjoy it, don't rush. Yeah, plan it well, and it is one of Australia's great road trips. We've enjoyed both times we've been across. I'm sure we'll do it again one day.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure it'll be different again. Yeah, so look, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one.
Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next Sunday.
See you next Sunday.
So I can get my drink without my hair blowing in my mouth.
Let's see it. Let's Just gotta be careful to spot for.
Alright, morning. We are back on the road this morning, heading towards Eucla.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Bit of a...
Start again. I stuffed it for you.
Let's do this.
It's Eucla.
Eucla.
No, Eucla.
Eucla.
There's only one A.
Eucla.
It's not Eucla or Eucla.
Eucla.
Yeah.
Eucla.
Right.
Just chatting though, like it's going to make great B-roll.
Yeah. Traffic jam. Yeah. Yeah, cheers.
You too, guys.
Yeah. Take it easy. Enjoy the drive. See ya.